welcome back. It is 2022, everyone, and I was hoping to get a battle report out already by now, but the corona's finally caught up with me, and I had to isolate for 10 days, so I had to scrap my games, and I couldn't get any remote games on the line either. But I thought I might as well do this reinforcement recap phase of the attrition campaign that we're running at the moment. So if you've been following, there's been two fierce games have raged already in round one, so now we're on to round two. So we do have some jigging around and reinforcements being brought in for both sides. So we'll have a little look at how both regiments look at the end of round one, and what each commander has done in the reinforcement phase, and then we'll have a little recap to give a rough idea what the next two missions might bring. So we'll start off with the Africa Corps. Okay, round one for the Africa Corps was pretty much, I could say, perfect start really. Two major victories, given 14 victory points at the start, round one, and not only that, completely wiping out a British formation in the first game, which is proved costly later on, no doubt. An entire Valentine squadron pretty much got wiped out, and a rifle company. Added to that, we had a battle deck card which was disrupted supplies, so basically rendering the reinforcement points for this round for the Allies unusable, because it basically means Lucas will need to spend twice as many if he wants to spend them. So we'll see what he's going to do with that. So a lot of things went in our favour that round. The only thing that was a bit different was I had to play both games in round one. Sherry was unavailable, so I only have one game left of the campaign, and Sherry might have to play both round two games, and then me, if there's any openings in our lines, might have to plug the gap. But until then, I'm off to Berlin to receive some medals, and then Sherry's going to have to pick up the slack on the front line. Okay, I'll leave it long enough so you can see not too much damage taken in the Africa Corps regiment, losing a few infantry units here and there, so not too bad really. Infantry are quite cheap to replace, and that's why they're quite good in these kind of attrition campaigns. So this is page one, and we'll see page two next. As you can see, although some of the companies are quite depleted, there's quite a bit in the reinforcement pool that can be used. So these can be subbed in, and you can merge companies. So very good standing for the Africa Corps. Might be enough to, at this present, touch wood, be able to take us into the final round. Reinforcement points 45. The one thing that didn't go our way is our low fuel was played against us by Dave in the last game, which halved the amount of reinforcement points. So otherwise we would have been on 60. But not bad. While wary next game that disrupted orders could be played on us, so it might be a good idea for Tom to spend next round. And the British know we're only going to play it once per campaign, so no more disrupted orders for the British. Your audio's still working. I just didn't record over those. I thought I'd give you peace and quiet to read through it. As you can see, spend, and a lot of the reinforcement stuff has been taken out. That one, Panzer III, can stay there for a little bit. He can chill out in the reinforcement pool until needed. As I said, quite a good position for the Africa at the moment for Sherry to hopefully carry through to more victories next round. Otherwise, maybe she's going to have to pass me on the plane and speak to High Command of what happened while I run past it with my medals. So that is it for the Africa Corps reinforcement phase. What do you guys think of it? Have the right choices been made? I personally think so, yes, with the reinforcement points, because otherwise we're going to be screwed if disrupted supplies gets played on us next round, and we need those points, and might as well spend them now while they're cheap. Okay, round one for the British and the Anzac Rifle Regiment. Well, British aren't using the Aussies very well now, are they? They really getting them chopped up. Unfortunately, I do pride myself in defence, and Richard got me in a game where he tried coming at me, and I had a good solid defensive position, and a lot of cards and a lot of dice went in my favour, and things just went from bad to worse. And another day, I think Richard would have fared a lot better. And again, to compound it, disrupted orders as well. I think he had a good one to play on me, but I jokered it to stop it coming through. But just a tough day at the office for Richard, and I know he'll bounce back. And the Anzacs are tough, and they will help him through. So we will see what is left of Lucas's regiment. So as you can see here, two quite small looking rifle companies, because they took a bit of a beating in the round. So doesn't look great there, but as you see on the next page, there's a fair bit in the reinforcement pool that can be used. So you go reinforcement pool, enough to plug some gaps. Those reinforcement points 30. Might as well call that 15 this round if Lucas is going to use them, because there's an exclamation mark, as I mentioned before. Disrupted supplies has been played, so the British are having trouble supplying their forward positions, as was the case a lot in the desert for many reasons. Too stretched, weather, roads, counterattacks, probing attacks, aircraft, name one. Lot of trouble in supplies in the desert, but we'll see what Lucas has done in the reinforcement phase. Okay, as you can see, he has merged the two depleted rifle companies and brought some stuff out of the reinforcement pool to make a better looking rifle company now. So he does still have two rifle companies, so plenty to use for next round, but the British are desperate for a win now. Okay, so as you can see, the infantry team sat in reserve have been brought up. Two universal carriers are still here, but the most important point is there's still 30 reinforcement points to spend next round on top of what the two commanders will earn in their games. So one victory or two victories should, well, it'll very much tilt the scales, because the British will be able to buy in pretty much whatever they want, providing they win the game and nothing nasty gets played on them. But that nasty thing won't be disrupted orders, disrupted supplies, sorry. So that is it. So that is it for the reinforcement phase for both armies. Okay, so going into round two, both British plans of attack will have to be defend because they've lost. So I have urged Tom, my regimental commander, to go to attack both, and to maybe utilise Sherry for both games. Attack being a more straightforward game, maybe incur less losses, maybe. Definitely suggest a bit more artillery for us, although Africa artillery is a bit more expensive. Although those lonely 8cm mortars in the rifle platoons have been quite useful so far. So we will see. There should be another game coming next week, not for this campaign, but I will be playing Richard in the first of the Bulge missions from the new American Bulge book. So we'll be seeing some new units. We'll be seeing Chaffies for the first time, Jumbos, be interesting, and some new German units as well in the form of Hetzers. And, well, me being the attacker in this mission, I find it very difficult. Mission being Roadblock, it looks like it's going to be a hard game, as Panzer Show has done on their channel. So I'm going back to a regiment, a formation I haven't used for a while, and it will be from the D-Day German book. So look out to see what I'll be using. Hopefully it'll do the job. So until then, everyone stay safe, and like and subscribe and tell all your friends about the channel as well, and keep following the campaign. Hopefully we can get Sherry on the table soon, and we can get this campaign rolling again, and hopefully we'll finish by the end of the year, which is, well, let's